Hello, and glad to have you here. Today, I wanted to talk about something. Well, it's not really different, but it's just kind of one of those things that we need to think about as we're building our businesses. One of my questions for you is, are you exhausted by building your business the way you're building it? And, how do you feel about that? Are you getting frustrated and flustered and, looking for a different way? That is what happened with me, and, I had been building my business, uh, uh, gosh, it was 20 something years ago because I started when my kids were really still young, and I just never really felt like I was having any success. So that's what I like to talk about today. So as you're hopping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Let me know, what you think about this topic. Are you exhausted by building your business? Are you online? Because I know that a lot of people feel like I'm gonna drink a little water. I've been hearing a lot of just talk about people that are wanting to go back out and do, the chasing of people, and they probably don't see it that way because they still are um under the idea that that's one of the best ways to build, and that is to go out and, talk to friends and family and those types of things. And um and I shouldn't just say talk. It's okay if you want to talk to them about it, but bugging them, pushing, prodding, convincing, doing that. And because I can remember going to stores and, trying to talk to, the Walmart greeter and, my waitresses or waiters, or whatever. I was just because that's what I was taught, and that's what I wanted to do, or what I thought I wanted to do, because I didn't know any different. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I hope that this is something that if you're, still building old school and, doing things that aren't exactly above board, it just, you're not really feeling like you're being respectful of others, because when you put yourself in their place, how would you feel? So let's have a talk about that today. Let's chat about that. And remember that whether you're here with me live or you're catching us on the replay, you can always drop questions in the chat box. And if you're, catching us on the replay, same thing. I can still answer your questions, or, we can have a conversation as far as, like, so why is it this way and whatever. So I can answer your questions. So I have like notes down here. So you'll see me look down to keep myself on track. But um, let me introduce myself as well. I was just starting to talk, and yeah, here. So anyway, my name is Cherie Woodard, and I help business builders and entrepreneurs to use social media to get prospects, leads, and sales in their business. Now, as I do this, I have certain ways, and I listed maybe three of them on my page, but there's a lot that goes into helping people to, find their way. And, it's okay if you still want to build, traditionally, that's on, whoever wants to do it that way. But I just found something a little bit better. Well, I won't say a little bit. It was a lot better for me. I'm sorry, my eye is itching. So anyway, let me go on and get started. So I let's see. Yeah, sorry, I'm a little distracted. But anyway, calm things down. So as we're talking about this today, please, like I said, drop in the chat questions or comments or whatever it is that you have to say about this. And let me know, are you still building by using the list of 100, bugging friends and family, chasing people in the mall or in the stores or whatever? And are you still, are you prospering doing it that way? So, from my understanding and being where I am now, and how I ended up finding something that I felt was better for me, was I just got tired of, I've been doing it off and on for over 20 years and not really any success. And I can remember when I did bug my family and friends, basically, two of my siblings, had joined me, but it was just, the way that I was doing it. Then I had to convince them, and then they had to convince others, and and then it all fell apart. It was like, and that was my first. No, I won't say it was my first. It was somewhere along the way where I was getting to the point where I just needed to find a different way. So as I decided to do that, I wanted to help other people that might have been doing the same things that I was doing, to help them to be able to better um, do things differently and have a better way of building their business. So initially, the things we're taught, I've already said a few of them, but you want to, realize that anybody and everybody is not for you. And that is something that I had to realize. And I don't know what you think about that. Like I said, drop what you feel in the chat. And I know a lot of people in the company that I'm in, or one of the companies that I'm in. I believe in streams of income, but that'll be another day. We can talk about that. But I have seen a lot of people that have been building for a really long time, and they did have a certain amount of success in building using old school methods or traditional methods. And they just, had gotten to where they were tired, and they, went looking online and found something just like I did. And we ended up in the same company because we wanted to learn something different. We wanted to build a better way, a different way. And so, like I've already talked about chasing family, I'm looking at my notes now, chasing family and friends, and no one ever told me that everyone and anyone, initially I was never told that anyone and everyone is not for me. There are some people out there that are for you, that are, wanting what it is that you have, whether that's your product or service, but then there are a lot of people out there that, don't want that. And they, don't want to be bothered when they go into the store, or, wherever you meet people at, in the restaurant. And because I can remember talking to people, at the next table and all that, and they're trying to eat their food and I'm trying to eat mine, but I'm yet and still trying to, you know, reel somebody in to, show them what it was that I had, because I still believed back in the day that it was always, anyone and everyone wanted what I had, because that's what I was taught. So when I look back at that, and how I decided to find something else, was I decided to do a search online. And as I did the search online, I mean, it was, you know, it was something that just stuck out to me. And it said, "Are you tired of chasing family and friends and strangers?" And I was like, yeah, so of course I clicked on it, opened it up, gave my email address, and from there it's all history. And I learned so many things. So as I learned that, the list and all of that stuff wasn't what I wanted to do, and I found out that everybody and anybody was not who I was really looking for, then I started to see other things and grow in a different way of building my business. And one of those main things is growing in skill sets and learning how to do certain things. Learning, certain ways of approaching people, and and allowing them to make that choice. It's like, I don't know, and then maybe this has happened to you before. It's happened to me. I can remember going into the store, and I just walk in the door and immediately somebody's like in front of me going, "Can I help you with anything?" And I'm like, "No, I just like to look around," and that kind of thing. So I actually was able to then look at what I was doing and what I had been doing to people, like crowding them and, trying to push and prod and say, do you have 5 minutes? Do you have a couple of minutes? I just want to tell you about something that I believe will change your life and, that kind of thing. And they're going, so, it was so good and I felt good about what I was doing when I decided to try something different. And that was being able to attract people to me, or being able to talk to people with a certain amount of respect and, giving them a choice of, whether, they want to talk to me or not. And, knowing that and the other thing is that I learned skill sets. I didn't know that there were skill sets. Way back in the day, the only skill set was, like I said, making that list of 100, bugging your family and friends, which I've said several times now, and chasing strangers. And then since I've been online, there are people that are dropping links on my, whatever story or whatever I'm doing about my journey. I'm sharing that on my personal profile on my personal profile. And so there are people that are like where I have a lot of engagement, they're just going in and actually giving a like a little like to it and answering the the engagement comments that people were making. They were actually putting a like on it and then putting down below, "You'll thank me later, but you need to get in touch with such and such a person." So there are people that are dropping links, coming into your stuff. They don't care if it's, you've lost somebody and these are posts that to give you strength, so that you can keep going, and they'll have their stuff in there. And I one day I I asked one of my mentors, I said, am I supposed to continue, trying to get rid of all of those, because sometimes I have a lot of engagement on certain things, and and it was driving me buggy, and so she was like, no, you don't have to really do that with every one of them. When you have a whole lot of engagement, you can get to certain people, but most people know not to pay that much attention, to just kind of like, who is this? Whatever, let me keep going. And they probably experienced it themselves. So, learning skill sets for me was a big thing. Learning who I wanted to help was another really big thing. And how did I want to help them? How could I, find out their problems? Where their problems are, the problems that I had when I was building differently. And it wasn't working for me. And I was frustrated and tired and, having to leave my kids at that time, to go do this and that. And, it just, sometimes like, I remember one network marketing company, oops, shouldn't have, that word is something that we're not supposed to use on Facebook. So I just spit that out. Let me just take that back. But as I was doing business building, I remember that made my mouth dry. So, as I remember how I felt doing that, and there was one place that had like where we would have our meetings, they had like a little childcare area, so I could bring my kids with me and and be able to have them looked after. But, that wasn't the norm. So, anyway, I hope that you've gotten something out of this because I have found that knowing who it is that I want to help, and finding out what their problems are and being able to help them to find solutions for those problems, as well as learning skill sets. There are certain skill sets that you need to be able to build your business online, and hopefully most people are still online. It's become a really crowded space, but it's still, there's so many people that may need what it is that you have, but it's just not everybody and anybody. We want to get away from that type of thing. So I hope that this little conversation that I've had, with you today, whether you were able to, chat later today, later in the week, I hope that this information was helpful and that it provided some value for you, because that's what I really want to do. I want to be able to help people to come out of where I used to be. So today is our Clubhouse day. So please join us on Clubhouse. For me, the time is 5:30 p.m. CDT. So look that up and see what your time frame would be and join us. We're going to have a good conversation today. So that would be really great. And you might really learn something, and something that could help you in your business as you continue to walk through this and building your business and learning about skill sets and learning about who it is you truly want to help and so on. So I'm going to go on and get off of here. And I hope, like I said, that this was helpful. If it wasn't, let me know. If it was, let me know. Just I want to know either way if this was something that could truly help you. And I didn't really see anyone, put up their hand or, have a comment or anything, but you can always reach me in Messenger. And I am going to drop a some information in the comment section when this is finished. So I'm gonna go and get out of here. Talk soon. And today is Tuesday. I'll go live Tuesdays and Thursdays at 12 noon. So take care, no matter where you are in the world, no matter what time it is for you. And I'll see you Thursday. Bye now.